Hello and welcome back to the Son of the Morning Comics channel, and we're here today to do a retro comic review. So what you're seeing in front of you is Fantastic Four 48, 49, and 50. This is the famous Galactus arc, the coming of Galactus. Now, some people will argue that this is the best or greatest or greatest arc in Marvel history. It might be, that I don't know, that I can't decide, but I do think that it is the most important arc in Marvel Comics history. It's a fantastic story that was, of course, written by Stan Lee, and the art done, of course, by Jack Kirby. Now, these are the real issues here. Now, of course, I'm not crazy enough that I'm going to actually use these to do the reviews. Instead, we'll be using this, the good old omnibus. That way nothing gets further damaged. Not that those were the most well-conditioned comics anyone's ever seen, but nevertheless. Now, before we get to the actual issue, or issues I should say, I just wanted to show or say here that Fantastic Four number 48 is from March of 1966, and 49 and 50 April and May of 1966 respectively. And so we'll flip to that using magic, and we have the cover of Fantastic Four 48, the coming of Galactus. We see the Watcher there. Everybody's looking kinda terrified, for good reason. Now, before we actually get into the review, one of the things that is interesting about the Fantastic Four, especially in the early years here, was that oftentimes one story wouldn't be contained in one book. So the story of the coming of Galactus doesn't start at the beginning of this comic. It's actually, they're still at the finishing up the end of their first arc with the Inhumans. So we'll flip it until we actually get to where we need to be. And so this is where the story really starts here. You see the Silver Surfer for the very first time. He's skyriding through the spaceways, as you can see, dodging comets. Really interesting, cool little scene here where the Skrulls notice that the Silver Surfer is approaching their planet, so they order all power on the planet to be shut down because they know exactly who the Silver Surfer is and what will follow. So I thought that's just a really cool little thing that they added in there. So all of a sudden, the skies over New York are in flames. Nobody knows what's going on. There's obviously a panic in the city. So the Fantastic Four, having just arrived back from their mission, are wondering what's going on too. So naturally, Johnny, being the Human Torch, isn't going to be afraid of fire, so he goes up there to see what's going on, and he notices that there's actually no heat, it's just flames. So a very strange occurrence. The people on the ground, of course, now see the Human Torch and blame him for having started the fire in the skies. So Sue and Reed jump on their Fantasticycle, or whatever it's called, and they're going to see what's going on. The thing falls off of it, but they had already noticed that Johnny was in trouble. And as the thing is approaching, you just gotta love the line. And as my dear old Aunt Petunia might have said, it's clobberin' time. Gotta love it. Gotta love the thing. He saves Johnny, and so we still see here Silver Surfer is approaching. He sees a star. He sees a yellow star, and to him that means that he knows that there is going to be a planet that will have the energy that Galactus needs to survive. Sue here is, of course, talking to Reed over their little comm thing, and Reed Richards, I don't know if Reed Richards does not have the same temperament now in the comics that he did back here. At this point in time, he was always concerned about his work, always complaining about being disturbed, things like that. He doesn't want to be disturbed. Sue's having none of it. So Sue goes in there to confront him, at which point she sees that the Watcher is in there with Reed. And she wants to know what the Watcher's doing. At this point, the Watcher explains that he was the one who made the skies fire, because he saw the Silver Surfer coming towards the Earth, and when that didn't work, he filled it with the atmosphere with space debris to try to cover it, but to no avail. The Silver Surfer is on his way. Now, this is the interesting part, too, because it does get mentioned that, you know, the Watcher's job is to record, or to watch and record history throughout space and time, not to interfere. Basically, the Prime Directive, if you've ever watched Star Trek. So, kind of breaking the Prime Directive here already, when he's lighting up the skies in fire, but hey, he's doing good, so let's not get too carried away. Now, the Silver Surfer does arrive. When he arrives, he sends out his signal here. The Watcher, of course, knows that this means that Galactus has been contacted, and it is now too late. The Silver Surfer is then here we go, over here, flying around doing this thing. So then, over here, they're trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Like I said, the Watcher knows, and now we see in the distance, we see Galactus's ship approaching. And, real cool drawing here is, this one to me is just, it's so ahead of its time, this drawing almost, where Galactus has arrived and he is floating the pieces that he needs to build his planet-eating machine. And so then we get the first ever look at Galactus here, and he is got a big G on him, so you know he's Galactus, and he's there to eat the world. Then we're on to 49, and now the Watcher is trying to reason with Galactus, saying, you know, that this is intelligent life here, primitive but intelligent. One day they could grow into a great society, and that Galactus's only concern is that he needs energy, he needs power. So the Thing thinks he's gonna go and clobber the Galactus, so he goes to punch him in the ankle, and of course nothing happens, and then Galactus drops like kind of like a bug spray, but for humans, and everybody sort of scatters. Now, alright, so now they're just kind of, now that they know Galactus is there, the Watcher tells them they just kind of have to relax. So they're relaxing. Reed's shaving. Ben's taking a bath. But the Silver Surfer, who did, I didn't show this part, but he was actually knocked off of the top of the Baxter building by the Thing, and he actually lands on the skylight above Alicia Masters' apartment. That, of course, being Ben Grimm's girlfriend, who is blind. So she's trying to figure out who this strange person is. She touches his face, sees that he's different. The way he speaks, there's nobility to him, that sort of thing. And he's just talking, and very aloof. These are things that are of no concern to me. She cooks him dinner. This is funny. He's like, I love the line he says, "Hungry? Eat? Can it be that you actually consume these foreign morsels?" And so I just found that kind of funny. Flipping back now, we have Galactus, who is in full world-eating machine building mode, building the machine, of course, on top of the Baxter building. Now, the Watcher, once again breaking the Prime Directive, he shows them what's going to happen. Basically, the Watcher knows Galactus. He knows what he's going to do. He's going to suck up all of the water from the Earth and the oceans and lakes, everything, and then wrap a beam around the Earth and then suck the rest of its energy out. So, at this point, he's really given them a lot of information. Good old Uatu. Which is a good thing, don't get me wrong, but he is definitely breaking his code here. And he says there is only one way to stop Galactus, and in order to do that, he's going to have to obtain something that's very far away, but he doesn't have the speed to do it. Johnny the Torch is going to have to do it. So that's sort of put on pause for a minute. Here we have Alicia begging the Silver Surfer to, or actually, instead of eating the food, he uses his powers to consume every little bit of it without leaving any waste. And he feels good about himself. But he does, he has basically told Alicia what is going on, why he's there. And she basically says to him that, asks him if he has a conscience, and explains that, everybody on the planet Earth has hopes and dreams and stuff like that. And then having this conversation, she's begging with him, pleading with him to go and ask Galactus not to destroy the entire world. And the Silver Surfer says, "Never have I heard such words, sensed such courage, or known this strange feeling, this new emotion. There is a word some races use, a word I have never understood until now. At last, I know beauty." And so we can see the change starting in the Silver Surfer. And so from there, we can see Galactus is here saying all he's got to do is put these two things together, and then boom, it all begins. But it doesn't work. He can't believe it, doesn't understand it. And on the top of his device, the thing has ripped the top of it off to try to at least thwart Galactus for now, which he does. But of course, Galactus talks about how he can remake those parts at any time, so it's really not a big deal. He gets annoyed, at which point he releases this little frog covered in armor, who is called the Punisher, by the way. Did you know that the Punisher first appeared? And I'm just joking. Not the same Punisher, obviously. So now the Punisher is going to attack them. The Watcher gets Johnny out of the way, and this is where he explains to him that he's going to send him all the way through time and space, past the edge of the known universe, to where Galactus has his service station, his galactic service station. So you can see here the torch is taking off through space, zigging and zagging, and here you can see this is Galactus's station. So we know that he's going there to obtain something that's going to stop Galactus. So, yeah, the Watcher's definitely broken the Prime Directive, but that's okay. So here we just have some scenes with the Punisher battling with Sue and the Thing and Reed, and basically she puts up one of her force fields. Punisher can't get through. Galactus says, you've done your job. Go back to the ship. So he does. And then here, now, just final scene, the Silver Surfer has decided he didn't know this Thing Beauty. These people, they're special. He's gonna save them. So he takes off from Alicia's apartment, which is troubling for the Watcher because he's afraid that the Surfer may get in the way of his plans to stop Galactus, which may in fact destroy the world. And the arc, of course, ends in Fantastic Four issue number 50. It ends about halfway through the issue. Like I said, they used to do that. And because here, at last, the Human Torch and college don't miss Johnny's first day. So, like I said, I think that it was just a very clever way of leaving you on a cliffhanger, making sure you come back the next month to get the new issue. Good hook there by Stan and Jack. So, the Surfer attack. This issue starts here with the Surfer attacking Galactus. He then encases him in this energy field, hoping that it's going to hold him. Ultimately, it doesn't. Galactus punches his way through it. Galactus and the Silver Surfer battle. The Watcher reappears, telling everybody that they just kind of gotta get out of the way and let what happened happen. At any rate, Johnny has the tool that he needs. He senses he's getting closer. He can almost feel the earth, and then he's back. And he's got something with him. He's got this little tool, which he gives to Reed. The Watcher explains, you have to use this exactly as I tell you to use this. If you do anything wrong, you might destroy the entire universe. So, of course, Silver Surfer and Galactus are still fighting, and Mr. Fantastic Reed stretches his arm way out with this device, hits Galactus in the arm, at which point Galactus mentions to the Watcher, like, what are you doing? This isn't not what you're supposed to do. So basically, the Watcher then has a conversation with Galactus, explains to him that these people are worth living. He's been watching them for a long time. There's no reason to kill these people. There are many other planets. Go find another planet. And Galactus, I guess, a combination of the Watcher convincing him, breaking the Prime Directive again, and Reed willingly giving over this device back to him, he's realized that these people have potential. And he mentions it, that Galactus isn't evil, and he really isn't evil. He isn't doing this stuff because he wants to kill people. He just needs to eat, and that's it. But the Surfer has to be punished. So he shoots him with some Galactus eye ray power, and takes away the power cosmic from the Silver Surfer, so he can no longer skyride through space. And then with that, Galactus uses his immense power to just whoosh himself out of into disappearance, and he's gone. So at this point in time, Alicia arrives at the Baxter building. She runs over to the Silver Surfer, says that she knew that he would do the right thing, that she prayed for him. Ben's very upset because she doesn't even seem to notice him. Of course, all she wants to do is introduce the Silver Surfer to the greatest man she's ever met, Ben Grimm. But he doesn't see that. He goes down. Then the Silver Surfer says that he's taking off, and he can't fly around in space anymore, but he's gonna travel the world, see everything that this Earth has to offer, and then maybe he'll come back and visit the FF again. And the news talking about Galactus, this I find really funny. It's the Daily Bugle publisher calls Galactus hoax, editorial by J. Jonah Jameson. And I love the dialogue here. It says, how about that? According to the Bugle, the whole thing was a publicity stunt. And the other guy says, I've learned that the best thing to do is to read Jameson's editorials and then believe the complete opposite. So Galactus is gone. The world is saved by the Fantastic Four yet again. Of course, there is this guy here at the end of the story. We don't know who he is at this point. He's actually, what he does is he ends up stealing the Thing's powers. He's a brilliant scientist that hates Reed Richards. That's basically it. Now, the issue does continue, but like I said, this is Johnny playing football, Johnny's first day at school, that sort of thing. So, like, this is where that arc ends. Like I said, I feel it's the most important arc in Marvel's history. Right up there would also probably be the death of Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man, but I think this is sort of the seminal cosmic Marvel story that really, really sets things off for what was to come in the future. So that's the coming of Galactus, Fantastic Four, 48 to 50. And love it. Love the Fantastic Four, love this story. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Gonna do more retro reviews like this as well. This is the Son of the Morning. See you later.